formal sales process. That process is made up of five major components: a target customer profile, the thought process, and emotionally compelling message we call the elevator pitch, a sales process that will act as your roadmap to market domination, and finally, a persuasive marketing collateral that features an emotionally compelling message. In our previous presentation, we discussed the first of those five components, the target customer profile. We revealed the most important fundamentals that make up any effective target customer profile. We discussed how all small business owners know their client physical profile, but it's the emotional profile that really matters. The emotional profile uncovers their hot buttons. It reveals their problems, frustrations, fears, and concerns your prospects feel emotionally when they buy what you sell. The reason this is such a critical component of your target customer profile has to do with the simple fact that all prospects buy based on emotion. They only use logic to justify their purchase. The physical profile identifies only those prospects who logically need what you sell. It does not identify those prospects who emotionally want what you sell. And since prospects always buy what they want and seldom buy what they need, the key to success for small business owners is to find those prospects who want what you offer and who have an emotional reason for buying it. We also explained that you often discover your target customer may want several things from your business, and that the smart business owner will customize their business so they're the expert in just one of those preferences. This is known as selecting your niche market. The riches are in the niches, as the old saying goes, and once you stop trying to be all things to all people and begin to specialize in just one area that your clients really want, you can quickly and effectively dominate that entire market. Small business owners have to stand out from the crowd. They have to position their business as unique. When you select your niche market, you instantly separate your business from your competition, and that makes your business unique. But being unique isn't enough. You also have to take into consideration basic human nature. Every prospect, no matter who they are or what they want, always wants the best deal. Fortunately, that doesn't mean the lowest price. It means they want the most value for the price they pay. Small business owners must offer target customers extraordinary value, so they will make the decision to buy from them and them alone. And that's the topic for this presentation, helping you understand the process we use to help our members map out their target customer's thought process. By the end of this presentation, you will know exactly how to discover what your prospects really want, whether or not your business is presently giving them what they want, what you can do to innovate your business so you can offer your prospects more than what they want, and the benefits they will enjoy when they make the decision to buy your product or service. So the first thing you must do is discover what your target customer really wants. In order to accomplish this, you need to take the emotional information from your target customer profile and analyze it using three very simple techniques. You're going to analyze their hot buttons. Then you're going to analyze your business to see if it provides a valuable solution to their hot buttons. And finally, you're going to add specific innovations that will create extraordinary value for what you sell. It's these innovations that will enable you to dominate your market. Consider this example. Imagine for a moment that you sell a Toyota Camry. You determine that your target customer's hot buttons are the price and features of the car. They want a great car in the $25,000 range that has terrific styling, excellent power, beautiful interior features, and all the latest safety specifications. Okay, the average selling price for a Camry is about $25,000. And for that $25,000, you get terrific styling, excellent power, beautiful interior features, and all the latest safety specifications. So you have now identified your target customer's hot buttons, and you have identified that your product, the Camry, offers the exact solutions to your target customer's hot buttons. Does this mean you will now dominate your market? Hardly. You see, other similar cars in its class, Honda Accords, Chevy Malibus, Nissan Altimas, and so forth, also have the same styling, power, interior features, and specifications as your Camry. In other words, your product is no different than all the others. And since everyone is offering the same thing, the only value proposition left to the prospect is the price. This is why most small business owners constantly compete on price. They have no idea how to offer more value. If they do offer more value, then more prospects will buy from them, and those prospects will gladly pay a much higher price. So what would happen if you had the ability to change just one thing on the Camrys you sold? Let's say, for the sake of this example, that the engineers over at Toyota cracked the code on fuel efficiency, And the $25,000 Camry that you sell now gets 300 miles per gallon instead of the standard 25. Everything else about the car stays exactly the same. Now, do you think you just might have a competitive edge over everyone else in the entire auto industry? Do you think you might be able to charge an additional $10,000 per car and get that price all day long? This is why you must look for ways to innovate your business. Every small business owner should be looking for their own 300 mile per gallon innovation within their own business. However, you don't want to innovate just anything and everything. You only innovate what your target customers actually want in the niche market you have selected. There's also another huge advantage to innovating your business. Have you noticed lately that it's getting harder and harder to market what you sell? Marketing and advertising rates have skyrocketed in most markets, and yet prospects' response is growing weaker, mainly because there's so much marketing and advertising being offered these days. Let's face it, everywhere we go today, we literally find ourselves being pummeled with advertising messages, some 3,700 every day. It's no wonder we've stopped paying attention to most of them. So here's the problem. How can a small business owner cut through all of this marketing clutter? Most small business owners have no marketing expertise whatsoever, and they certainly cannot afford to pay an ad agency or a copywriter thousands of dollars to create a marketing program for them. Well, would you pay attention to an ad that features a revolutionary new car that gets 300 miles per gallon on gas? Who wouldn't? And here's the best part. How much marketing savvy do you really need to create that ad? You could be a complete idiot and write that ad. You could simply put an ad in the paper that said, hey, you know, the Toyota Camry, it now gets 300 miles per gallon. That's a lot. You might be interested. If you want one, you can come to our local dealership or you can check us out online. Think you could pull that one off yourself? The response to this ad would be huge because the value proposition is so obvious. You could even pull this off if you were marketing a brand that no one had ever heard of before, even a new unknown brand. If you suddenly invented a car that had approximately the same features as the Camry, it cost $25,000 or even $35,000, and it got 300 miles per gallon, you could destroy the marketplace literally overnight. We help our clients find a way to innovate the equivalent of the 300 mile per gallon Camry for their business. The end result is market domination. So here's the process again. First, crawl into your target customer's head and analyze their hot buttons. You want to specifically define what their hot buttons mean to them emotionally. In other words, what is it they want to see happen when these hot button issues intrude into their lives? What are the solutions that your target customer is looking for from your business that will solve the problems and concerns? Once you define what they want, you're going to compare that information with your business's current product or service. You're going to analyze whether or not your product or service already offers the solutions that solve your target customer's problems in a way that at least meets their expectations. But these two steps alone are just not enough because simply meeting your client's expectations will not position your business as offering extraordinary value. If you only meet the expectations of your prospects, they won't even notice you. You will simply look like all the others that offer what you sell. What you really want is to exceed your client's expectations. And to do that, you must innovate your business based on the hot buttons you identified within your niche market. You're looking for creative and imaginative ways to improve your business offerings that are so exceptional, so extraordinary, that they will provide not just good solutions to your prospects' hot button issues, but outstanding and amazing solutions that will put your business in a class all by itself. Let's look at one more example. Let's say you own a plumbing business, and for years you have offered what all plumbers offer. You fix leaky pipes, replace kitchen and bathroom faucets, install new plumbing, replace hot water heaters, and so on. Show me just one plumber who doesn't offer all these services. How much competition does this plumber have? Well, just look in the yellow pages for starters. You will see hundreds of them listed. So who should you call? Who offers the most value? There's really no way to tell, is there? Well, there is one way. You could call all of them and ask for a price quote. Since they all look alike and their ads all say the exact same thing, the only value proposition left is the plumber who offers the lowest price. Do you really want to compete against a multitude of competitors as well as price? But what if you stopped trying to be all things to all people? What if you sat down one day and asked yourself, What are the biggest problems, frustrations, fears, or concerns most plumbing prospects have? Your list would look just like the one we mentioned earlier. They need a leaky pipe fixed. They want to replace the kitchen, bathroom, or faucet. They want to have new plumbing installed, or they may need to replace their hot water heater. But what's the real hot button here? Well, when you need a plumber, don't you need them immediately? When a pipe breaks and water is going everywhere, or your hot water tank is out, or you can't even take a shower, don't you want someone there instantly? Of course. But how many plumbers do that? How about zero? You call a typical plumber and they put you on a schedule. They tell you that someone will be out to complete the repair between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. tomorrow. Okay, so now that they can't come today, you're the one that's inconvenienced for the remainder of that day. And to add injury to insult, you get to sit around the entire next day waiting for them to show up. Seriously, has this exact situation ever happened to you? Well, it's happened to all of us. That's our hot button when it comes to plumbing. It has nothing to do with the plumber fixing the problem properly, because we expect them to do that. It's the lack of service that is the plumbing industry's hot button, along with a multitude of other industries as well. So as a plumber, what if I selected a niche market? What if I innovated my plumbing business in such a way that I could arrange to arrive at a prospect's home within 30 minutes of receiving their phone call? Furthermore, what if I guaranteed that arrival time, or they receive the entire repair for free? What if my Yellow Page ad contained that message instead of the typical plumber's Yellow Page ad that has the name of the business at the top of the ad? What if I had a big bold headline at the top of my ad that says, broken pipe, water flooding your basement, need a certified plumber at your home within 30 minutes, guaranteed? So who would you call? Do you see what I just did? I just created the equivalent of a 300 mile per gallon Camry. I guarantee you that this plumber, by simply adding just this one service-oriented innovation, will now dominate this market. Their Yellow Page ad will now increase their call volume by a factor of 50 or more, so they better be sure they can deliver on their promise. But that's what innovation is all about, putting into place the systems and processes that make these types of innovations happen. This is what we help our clients do every day, and we want to help you do the same thing for your business. And by the way, notice how simple it's now become to write this marketing message. No expensive ad agency is needed. No $5,000 copywriter is required. A 6-year-old could write this ad, and it would work just fine. When you have a car that gets 300 miles per gallon, the product sells itself. You just have to stick that message in front of your prospects and make sure it's clearly articulated. So it's up to you to find your business's 300 mile per gallon innovation. And we'll help you do that so you get it right. In fact, we're going to help you completely map out your target customer's entire thought process. We'll walk you step by step to help you specifically define that hot buttons for your selected niche market, and then teach you how to create the innovations that will completely separate you and your business from your competition and position you for market domination. There's also one more huge advantage to following our proven and tested process when mapping out your prospect's thought process. When you complete it, you have also just completed approximately 90% of your emotionally compelling marketing message. That's the third component in creating a successful sales process. Let us share with you a case study of one of our clients that will show you the importance of mapping out your target customer's thought process and the benefits you can expect when you do. One of our Canadian clients had two passions in life, teaching and real estate. He decided to start a business that would allow him to capitalize on both of his passions simultaneously. He decided he would create a coaching program for real estate investors. He had been investing in real estate himself for years, and he knew all of the ins and outs of that specific industry. However, Canada's population is only 10% of what it is in the U.S., meaning he would have a limited number of prospects to market to. Realizing he had no idea what to do to effectively start a business, he joined our e-learning marketing system and began to use our program. He developed his target customer profile and then mapped out their thought process. It was the thought process that really opened his eyes. He had previously assumed that all real estate investors would want to know things like financing shortcuts, how to find a fair and honest mortgage broker, or how to uncover the lowest financing rates. It turned out that while some of those were important to some investors, the vast majority of them really wanted a coaching program that would help them learn how to buy investment property with no money down. A very difficult thing to do in the Canadian real estate market. Fortunately, our client knew exactly how to do this since he had done it many times himself in the past. And since he was so good at this, he decided it would be foolish to train just average investors to do this. Why not train wealthy investors who could take advantage of the housing slump to target multi-million-dollar properties, purchase them for 50 to 60 cents on the dollar, and then flip them as soon as the market recovered? In fact, if the deal was lucrative enough, what if he himself partnered with highly qualified investors? They would assume sole responsibility for their mortgage, and our client would provide the expertise in structuring the deal, with both parties splitting the profits 50-50. Unfortunately, our client knew nothing about marketing, and he decided to start marketing his coaching program before completing the remaining components that make up the entire sales process. He did not create his emotionally compelling message. He did not roll that message into his marketing and advertising, and he never created a sales process map that would guide him in getting his message out to his target customer. Instead, he went with the typical small business marketing approach, spray and pray. And he got the typical small business marketing results, nothing. Realizing what he was doing wasn't producing results, he came back and completed our process. The same process we're teaching you now. Once he did, it revealed everything he needed to know to make things happen. For example, he discovered his target customer not only wanted to buy multi-million-dollar investment properties with no money down, but they would be more than willing to invest in a coaching program so they could learn exactly how to do it. So he decided to make this his niche market. When he analyzed his prospect's specific emotional profile, it revealed that they wanted personal one-on-one attention, so he knew he needed to cap his coaching class to no more than 7 clients, and their physical profile revealed they could easily afford to pay $10,000 for a coaching program that offered them the personal help and guidance they so desperately craved. That guidance represented our client's main value proposition and more than justified his $10,000 coaching price tag. When he created his emotionally compelling message, he learned all about a process we teach called the marketing equation. This is a simple, easy-to-learn equation you always want to use to format your marketing and advertising message. This is a format that works the same way as your target customer's thought process. It was the marketing equation that helped our client create a targeted message that was so laser-focused on his niche market that it put him in a league all his own. His sales process map told him that the internet would be a terrific marketing strategy to get his message out to the masses, but it would not close the sale for him. When someone comes to you online, they don't know you, like you, or trust you, especially when it comes to real estate investing. Our client knew he had to establish trust, respect, and rapport. He needed to have his prospects experience him directly and see him as a real estate investment expert. They needed to be able to see, hear, and witness his personality and his expertise. He decided to use joint venture partners to invite interested investors to attend an online presentation so he could speak to his prospects as if he were talking to them individually on the phone. He used our e-learning marketing system process to create an emotionally compelling email for his JV partners to send to their database. And then he created an online landing page that the email would send them to. This landing page would emotionally compel them to want to attend his presentation. But the typical landing page does nothing to compel anyone to do anything. So he followed the marketing equation step by step. He put an emotionally compelling headline and subheadline at the top of his landing page that was practically guaranteed to grab every real estate investor's attention. The headline said, "Are you missing out on the greatest time in recent history to acquire $1,000,000+ properties with no money out of pocket?" Then he added a subheadline that said, "Discover exactly how an average Joe bought a $3 million property on 5 scenic acres for absolutely no money down, and how you can get 50% off of his profits." Directly below the subheadline, he placed a 3-minute video that quickly explained the information and benefits they would receive by attending his webinar. And then, to the right of the video, he had an offer box with a headline that said, "Free webinar reveals how you can cash in on the hidden cash of multi-million-dollar homes and add millions to your net worth overnight." He then asked them to register for the webinar by filling in their first name and email address. He would then complete his sales process by presenting his webinar and then asking all parties interested in his coaching program to send him an email right after the presentation so he could help them register for the training. Now remember, he had all of this mapped out in his completed sales process map, so there was absolutely no guesswork to any of this on his part. It was all a step-by-step, paint-by-numbers process. Well, to make a long story short, our client was hoping the webinar would produce his goal of signing up 7 coaching clients. On the day of his presentation, he wound up with 1,000 prospects on his webinar. He has no idea how many would have attended his presentation, since 1,000 attendees was the maximum number his webinar company could accommodate on any single webinar. Out of 1,000 that attended, he received 430 qualified applications for his coaching program. At $10,000 each, unfortunately, he never expected the e-learning marketing system process to work this well, and he was only capable of handling 7 clients at the time. But even with 7 in just a short period of time, he went from zero revenue to $70,000 after presenting a single webinar. He could have made more than $400,000 had he properly anticipated the demand for his services. That's okay. He'll know next time. But consider this. What do you think would happen if he also set up a drip campaign that will continue to follow up with the other 570 prospects that aren't interested right now? A drip campaign is simply where you use an autoresponder to stay in touch with your prospects by email and continue to provide them with additional compelling information as you nurture their interest until they make their decision to buy. And do you suppose a certain percentage of them will be ready to buy sometime in the future? The average is around 30%. That's an additional $300,000 to our client's bottom line. And all he has to do is write a few simple emails and load them into an inexpensive autoresponder. But here's the really exciting thing about all this. He has his entire sales process mapped out. It's sitting in front of him in black and white. He can repeat this process as often as he wants, whenever he wants, and he now knows the results he can expect to achieve each and every time he implements it. As long as he can support the demand, he could make as much as $500,000 each and every time he hosts one of these webinars. What he really needs to do at this point is to bring on additional coaches to handle the high demand for his coaching program. And since all of this is now mapped out and all the guesswork has been removed from his sales process, do you realize what he really has here? He literally has created a money machine. Anytime he wants additional revenue, he simply cranks up his proven and tested sales process and enjoys the revenue it will consistently produce. This client has created a business he loves and that meets his passion. The revenue it generates provides an exceptional lifestyle for himself and his family. This all happened once he selected his niche market, got laser focused on his target customer, and mapped out their exact thought process. And it can happen for you as well. When you follow the e-learning marketing system, we can help you achieve these same types of results, so you too will enjoy the increased revenue and profits you so richly deserve. In our next presentation, we're going to show you how to create $1 million message. We'll take the information we created in the thought process and use it to build an emotionally compelling message we call an elevator pitch. This is a message that is so powerful and persuasive, it practically forces your prospects to buy what you sell. We have had clients that went from 5-figure annual incomes to 6-figure monthly incomes from simply creating a powerful elevator pitch. We're going to show you the e-learning marketing system process they use to do it. Thank you for allowing us to provide you with the information you need so you can build the business of your dreams. Remember to keep track of your progress with our process map and follow along as we walk you through our very own sales process. So until next time, here's to your success.